Were I not a fan of David Lynch, I would be questioning what on earth is going on with the alphabet. But actually, quite frankly, it's what I expected from David Lynch, and it's mind boggling, and it's something that you could analyse forever and still never really come to a concrete decision with what it's about. And I did some Googling, and there are some theories about what it's about and what it represents. But I think that's one of the beautiful things about this, and indeed with other David Lynch pieces, that sometimes he will create something that doesn't necessarily have an obvious meaning. Maybe it has a meaning to him, and there are things, he's mentioned before about things like Eraserhead, what his thought process was behind it. But for the viewer, it can obviously take on different meanings. That's certainly the case with The Alphabet, which was written and directed by David Lynch in 1969 and stars Peggy Lynch as the girl. I'm going to assume Peggy Lynch is some relation. I have read his autobiography and absolutely loved it, but I can't remember, it's been a few years, I can't remember all of the intricacies. I'm going to read the description from IMDb about The Alphabet to give you an overview of what it's about, but I don't want to talk too much about what actually happens, because that's kind of the joy of watching it, of not knowing what on earth is going to happen next. Because it is a sequence of different styles of animation and kind of live action and quick cuts, and it really is very chaotic and very unpredictable, and that's one of the reasons why it messes with the mind. The description from IMDb says, a woman's dark and absurdist nightmare vision comprises a continuous recitation of the alphabet and bizarre living representations of each letter. So basically, we hear these children beginning to recite the alphabet, and we see this woman in a bed. And even that's not very clear. You kind of have to squint and check that it is a woman in a bed and not, like, I don't know, a bear up a tree. I'm stretching the truth a little bit. But it's David Lynch. Not everything, nothing is 100% certain with this. What you think you're looking at may not be the truth at all. And then we start to see things kind of come, like the alphabet almost appearing as if on a typewriter through an animation sequence. And then we have this little girl reaching up to different things, and the sound effects. One minute it's screechy, the next we have kind of a pleasant sound of children reciting the alphabet, and it's an immersive experience that will leave you questioning everything about sanity and life, because it's mind-boggling. And there's some pretty interesting imagery in this, and I'd love to know what your initial interpretation is. I don't know if I think you could interpret each kind of segment in its own, but also the piece as a whole, which again is one of the beautiful things about art. It can affect you in different ways and make you feel different things throughout the entire journey. As I said at the beginning, if I hadn't seen anything else David Lynch had done, I would be looking at this thinking, what on earth are you doing? But Eraserhead is one of my all-time favourite films. I absolutely love it. And I love how David Lynch provides these very physical, almost painful, certainly with the sound effects, confusing images that actually provide, when you think about it, very accurate representations of very real human emotions. And this is definitely what we get with Eraserhead, and I can see this being the case with The Alphabet too. When I realised that I was about to watch a David Lynch short, I did not know what to expect. I didn't expect this. Whatever is in your head just now is probably not what you're going to watch either. But it's fabulously creative, slightly disturbing, very disturbing sometimes, certainly thought-provoking. And if you have any specific thoughts or interpretations, please feel free to share those thoughts. I'd be very keen to know what you think. I really enjoyed it for what I hope is the right reasons, or what I hope are the right reasons. The alphabet is certainly interesting.